obviously with Brad Treliving coming in, I wonder how often that conversation will be brought up about the Matthew Tkachuk trade. And I wonder if this is sort of like a redemption time, taking nothing away from that trade. As you just stated, I think there's a possibility it comes back the other way. And quite frankly, I think in the long run, it'll help both Calgary and it'll help obviously the Florida Panthers. But in your opinion, what does this mean for the big four? Is it more likely, less likely, the same that one of these guys out the door this summer?
I think it gives it a better chance. Not saying that something's going to drop, but now you don't have this relationship that's built. Dubas, like we've talked about so many times, he loves his boys, right? Like these are his guys that he wanted to win with. And the doubt in his final, message coming in, this is obviously going to be something that Treliving has to manage. And I think it's something where you can make a move. The Leafs aren't bad. We're in good shape. We're not far away. Just got to the second round. You look at Florida. Is there some trades where we could make, to beef up that back end, to find our, those playoff players? We look at like Sam Bennett and the way Tkachuk plays, these styles that translate a little better to the playoffs. Where does he find that piece, that can make this team push it over the top? And finding a goalie that's going to be their guy. Is it going to be Woll? Is it going to be Samsonov? There's so many different moving parts. And I think right now, looking at this league, knowing what Florida was and what they were last year, they were so good, and this season they struggled, and now look at them. So I think you can find that in that. It's just finding that right element, that right mix that's going to push you over the top.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. I would love to know behind the scenes what Brad Treliving said when pressed on the core four, what the right decision is, how he feels about them, would he like to make a big time move and blow it up? Yeah, he's got the experience, and people like to compare and contrast even the Johnny Gaudreau situation, the Matthew Tkachuk situation. But all in all, time will tell. And I think it's interesting too that Brad Treliving, I believe, to the best of my knowledge, he can't take part in the draft that's coming up in a couple weeks' time in Nashville. So keep that in the back of your minds as well. And again, the first order of business would be that conversation, that call with Austin Matthews.